What's up, Agents of Infinity? Welcome back to another episode of It's Nothing Personal, the podcast where I attempt to turn random conversations with strangers into moments of extraordinary vulnerability, insight, and connection. I am your host, Mason Robin. A few updates. I attempted to do a 7-episode blitz last week. That didn't pan out. I got really busy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over the weekend, and I think one of the things I noticed, and I talk about this with Kirsty Blue, and in one of the episodes I released last week, she mentions it, is that, as she was redesigning her life and redesigning her relationship with herself and how she executed in her life, she had to find balance between setting reasonable goals for herself and reasonable expectations for herself. And I think I commented something on an Instagram post a few days ago, basically saying, there's a fine line between demanding too much of yourself and demanding too little. And I think I've always done a bad job of straddling that line well. You fall off the deep end on either side. Um, I have had a habit historically of either overcommitting myself or being committed to like essentially nothing. So yeah, I think this was just a good opportunity for me to observe like maybe I was asking a little too much of myself. But it was I did put out like 4 or 5. I don't know how many episodes I put out last week, more than I usually do. So I gave it a good try, but probably never going to try to do that again. I think that was too much. I think that was demanding too much of myself. That being said, I did miss one of the episodes that were on my Wednesday and Saturday schedule. So that my series one schedule that comes out on Saturdays, that is going to be just shifted back one week. So we're going to pick up this week with series one, episode 6, Why I Got Expensive Earbuds, which is probably one of the more embarrassing ones that, well, you'll see. But yeah, anyway, those are essential updates. I've got some really awesome conversations coming your way. There's one I'm about to work on. Well, this one I'm about to work on it right now. And this has been a huge one for me. This one was like, this is a good one. So, yeah, on to the details. In this episode, I speak with a young woman who, at 31 years old, um, ended up moving back in with her parents, and she's been having some difficulties in her relationship with her mom, it seems specifically, and then also in her relationship with her boyfriend and his ability to show up reliably and, from what I can tell, be considerate of others and think outside of himself. And this girl, you know, I saw a lot of myself in her, especially through her people pleasing tendencies. And I can just see she has so much love to give, so much value to offer. Um, and I'm hoping that she finds a way to turn that love back inward to herself, and learn how to give it to herself first, because she's really struggling with a lot right now. I could tell, and I felt very grateful to have the opportunity to speak with this girl, and it was a challenge because she does struggle with ADHD, so she got off track a lot. But I think I did an okay job of reining her back in and kind of trying to keep her grounded in the essence of the conversation and the heart of what I was trying to help her see and understand. And it's hard to say for sure, but I think I did a good job of helping her penetrate through the story that is keeping her from giving the love to herself that she so very much deserves. Um, so yeah, and I hope this was at least as impactful for her as it was for me. And if you make it to the end of the episode, uh, there's a little surprise. I included the conversation immediately after. So it's two conversations. The first one's pretty long. The second one's very short, and they were consecutive. So watch how quickly I can shift gears, I suppose. Um, but yeah, buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hi. Yeah, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Bonnie Doon?
This is my boyfriend. Yes.
Okay.
He's from Detroit. He loves them.
He what?
I think they're from Detroit, aren't they? Or Michigan?
Who?
Bonnie
Bonnie,
Doon.
what is that?
Oh, so you don't know them? Okay.
No.
It's a band.
You didn't hear the inquisitiveness in my voice?
I thought you were saying it like, oh my god, someone else knows Bonnie Doon.
Oh, no.
No.
Is it a band? Like, what?
It's a band. It's a small band.
Okay.
We went to brunch earlier and we rode the e-bikes and I was like, no.
Did you just wake up from a nap?
No, I just, I wish I did, honestly.
Are you tired?
I'm so tired. No, so we went to brunch earlier. I came back here because my dog is blind, unfortunately. Had to take care of him. And then now I have to go back up to Denver to go to dinner with my parents.
Fun stuff.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend...
That sounded sarcastic.
It really is, because I just got yelled at by my mother about my timing, and the Nuggets game just ended, so...
Did you have plans for dinner?
Yeah, we have a reservation.
Damn. Yes.
My boyfriend is, I think, asleep. His phone is dead. I call him.
What the hell?
So I'm trying...
He should be the person, like, helping you keep your commitments and shit. Like, what? What's he doing?
Now I'm trying to decide, do I go to his house, wake him up, be late to the reservation as my mother...
You're the one going to his house to wake him up? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Ditch his ass. Be like, you want to
I really need to, right? Because I'm just trying
I don't mean, like, overall. I mean, like, I don't know about your relationship, but, like, I don't know. Like, for the dinner. Just be like, all right.
It's so bad. I, like, literally just got off the phone with my mom, and she was like, should we just cancel it? And I was like, you just left the game and the Broncos just beat the 76ers. Shouldn't you be happy? I feel like that's a great game. You should be very lucky that you went to it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know why he doesn't have his.
Is this a pattern of behavior?
No.
No.
Ish.
So it's like, is he usually good about, like, being on time for things?
He's very good about being on time for things, but he's a bad phone person overall. So he probably was like, after brunch, I came back down here and he went home, and he probably was like, oh, my phone's fine. Don't need to plug it in to charge it. And then he's probably sleeping.
But he, like, he's aware that there's a commitment.
Oh, he's very aware.
To going with you and your parents to dinner.
Yeah.
How long have you been dating this guy?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. It seems like it's kind of taking it out of you emotionally a little bit.
It really is.
Are you gonna go? All right, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I mean, have you talked with him about the fact that
I mean, well, let me just because I'm not gonna like project my understanding of what's going on to your situation, but like, how is this making you feel?
I always call him sad boy.
You call him sad boy?
Yeah, because he just doesn't really do anything. So he just doesn't. And I ask him, do you need anything? Do you want help? Do you want anything? He's like, no, I'm good. So I'm like, oh, you're just being a sad boy. Because if you did, I've offered you so many times that I want to help you, and you're not. I don't know what to do if you say you're fine. Yes, he's calling me. Thank God.
All right, answer.
We might have to change the location because I might. Hello? My mom just screamed at me. You need to go to the restaurant. I'm on my way to the restaurant. I don't have time to pick you up. I originally had my location's there now, but I think I need to change it because she's very grumpy right now. Yes. Well, like the reservation's at 6:30. Yeah, because I called my mom and she was mad at me, even though I went to her house to take care of the dogs, to let them out, to feed them, to do everything. And then she's now mad at me because I might be a little late for the reservation. And so and I just, she's mad and she wants to cancel it and all this stuff. So I think she's had a lot to drink also, but. So can I change I was calling you a lot, so can I change my location from your house to the restaurant?
Are we still getting on 25 North?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
We're
We're
going
just
out like
going to like,
downtown.
yep.
Okay.
Can you get there on your own or do I have to pick you up? Okay, I'm gonna change the location then. Because she just yelled at me. Okay, bye. Yes, answers. No, it's literally.
So how young are you?
Unfortunately, I'm very old. I am 31.
That's not very old. What are you talking about? That's a bullshit story.
I just moved home 6 months ago.
Moved home? Like you live with your parents now?
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah. Because I got laid off from a job and I'm like trying to figure out everything. And fortunately, my boyfriend lives by himself, so I can usually just go there. So I'm like, oh, it's great living by yourself. You don't have to pay anything. And moments like this when he wakes up 2 seconds before. Let me see.
Yeah, go ahead. Focus on change up the location. Okay.
You are definitely going the right way, so.
Yeah, no, I know how to get downtown.
I appreciate you being like, am I going? I think it's like near Union Station. I know that.
Okay. Yeah. You just scooch over a couple lanes.
Yeah. We're not going to Edgewater.
Scooch over every lane.
No, most of the time I'm over at my boyfriend's house in Edgewater, and one of my dogs went blind in November.
Did you change the address? Go get that sorted. Then we'll talk.
Oh, poultry.
I promise I'm not going anywhere.
No, you are honestly the MVP. I have like such horrible ADHD. I'm like at the max for medication where my doctors are like, we might have to switch you because it's not.
You know the name of the place, right?
It's called Retreat.
You know how to change the location?
Yeah.
Okay. You have the address?
Confirm.
Okay.
Jacob?
Old Trio?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
Woo!
Got it. 17 minutes. Yeah.
Too bad.
So, do you mind if I use my vape? Is that like...
Oh, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay.
Absolutely go for it.
So, yeah,
You're like, let me be your therapist. That's what.
that's what I do. That's what I do.
No,
So...
I went home to take care of my parents' dogs that I
Right.
live with now because I want to save money. And I want to watch this basketball game because the 76ers Nuggets game is very close. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm on my way. And I was like, oh, I'm angry. So we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, I let the blind dog out. You go to the bathroom. I'm obsessed. I say the blind dog as if I don't know. He's like the sweetest, most amazing boy ever. He's been blind for 2 months. Has not gone to the bathroom inside of the house.
Well,
That's how
you know,
good of a dog.
dogs... Well, they still have their nose.
Well,
He's not nose blind.
we have a girl. We have 2 dogs, and one girl. If she is upstairs and no one's watching her when she wakes up, only when she wakes up.
Fall down the stairs.
Nope, she'll just go to the bathroom upstairs.
Oh no!
Because she's like, I have to pee so bad. I don't want to go downstairs. No one's here, so I'm just gonna go because no one sees it. And he's like, gonna hold it as long as he possibly can until his little legs can't hold it anymore.
Sounds like a good boy.
He's literally the best boy ever. And so I had to go home because apparently, all of a sudden, he suddenly just got a double retinal detachment. Like, he just got retinal detachment in both of his eyes, which I guess is extraordinarily rare. Like, one eye is semi-rare, but both is, like, extremely rare. So we can't see at all.
Yeah.
And so my parents are at the Nuggets game, and then we're going to dinner after. And they're like, oh, can you come watch them? I'm like, yeah, of course I can. I'm going to brunch this morning, but I'll come right after. I'll watch the game. It'll be great. And then I watch the game, and then my mom calls me, and she's like, what are you doing? Blah. And she's like, oh, Tuesday, cancel it. I'm like, I'm sorry, we're coming.
Yeah. So I'm like, I kind of want to circle around back to your boyfriend. It seems like there's some problems there. And you can tell me to fuck off at any point.
He is a lazy boy.
By the way. I don't know if laziness would necessarily be the problem. I'm sensing that, like, respect and openness might be the problem. But that's again, I told you I didn't want to try to project my interpretation, and I just did that.
I will say he is a slightly depressed boy on medication.
Okay.
So that's part of it. So that's why I feel like sometimes I give him slightly more of a, okay, you need to sleep more type of thing.
So you might, maybe you enabled him a little bit?
I think so.
But also I just noticed, like, whenever you were on the phone, I feel like you might be, like, and I understand this was like, your mom just yelled at you, this is a tense situation, you're feeling like, oh my god, it's like, why me, probably, like, but you're like you're pretty stern with him. Like, not that there wasn't much like warmth or compassion there at all, which just kind of like reinforces me thinking this is a recurring issue.
I would say most of the time he's pretty good, but I feel like he knew this and he went to bed. And it kind of seems silly that all of a sudden his phone couldn't ring, and then all of a sudden when we're trying to actually get there, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, hello. I'm here."
Like nothing happened.
And I'm like, oh, isn't that funny?
So, like, how do you two normally communicate about it whenever something like this happens?
I feel like
Are you inviting that communication?
the problem is that I'm not good at communication.
I don't see that.
That's the problem also. It's not I'm good at telling other people about it. When it comes to being direct with the person, I get stressed out. And
Right.
I'm like,
I get it. I totally get that.
I mean, I usually tell him, and then he's like, "Oh, no." My dad at one point is like, "Does Tim not like us? He won't come hang out with us." I'm like, "No, he does like you. I promise." It's just,
Do you
I
do
feel
you
like I just have a lot more energy than him,
maybe
and that's the problem. Is that
maybe
I'm
you might have a
just,
lot more pent up energy.
and I'm like, he's like in bed, and I'm like,
But like where does that energy come from though?
the
Like what's
ADHD.
well
Oh
are you
shit,
high anxiety?
a little bit.
It sounds like you are. Um
My mom also stresses me out. I feel like everyone small probably stresses about that.
I guess it depends on how much separation you have from your mom.
I'm like very close with my mom,
Oh,
but
I'm close to my mom too,
also,
but she lives in Louisiana.
yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm very close with her. Like, she'll like call me. She's like, "Oh, do you want to go to dinner?" I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds fun." And she asked me,
How often do you tell your mom no?
mm, sometimes.
But not never.
Oh, not. Well, especially now because I live at home. So she's helping me.
Right. Kind of hard to,
She'd be like, nope, girlfriend.
yeah. But I
But
mean, you're a 31-year-old woman, you know?
unfortunately,
What's unfortunate about that? Why is that unfortunate? What's wrong with being 31?
uh,
I'm 30.
do you live with your mom?
No.
See, there it is.
I mean,
To be fair, I have not lived with my mom since
right. Like, chips are down right now. That shit happens.
I think it's been like so long. And I was so scared, but I was like, oh, I have my boyfriend. But now there's nights like this where I'm like trying to get a hold of them. I'm like, oh, it might be the three of us. And then I'm like, what do I do? Because I went she wanted me to go down to take care of the dogs because she didn't want to. But then me going down to take care of them and not getting back in time was like, you're gonna be too late. Because also, my mom is a little
Is your
bit.
mom hard to please? I can relate to that.
Especially when she drinks. She's not an alcoholic in any means whatsoever. But she just is meaner.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she drank at the Nuggets game. And meanwhile, my dad does not drink at all.
That's probably like pretty stable. It's kind of like
Yep.
rock for your mom, kind of just lets her do her thing and like
Yep.
holds her hand through it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have an uncle like that. Sounds like my uncle and my nanny.
Yeah. And then,
But-
like, he'll call her out sometimes, like, when she's just, like, a little bit, like, he won't necessarily call her out in front of us because it's, like, he doesn't want to disrespect her necessarily in front of us.
yeah.
They've been together now, it's gonna be 40 years.
Well, of course,
Okay.
he's gotta be someone who also keeps her in check. Otherwise,
Yeah, 100%.
she wouldn't have respected him enough to stick
I know,
around.
yeah.
But
But, like, at the game, I'm like, my mom calling me to, I don't even know why she called me, because, like, oh, yep, I'm on my way, and then she got mad at me, because I'm something like, be there right at the time of the thing. I was like, well, I was at home, and you want me to take care of the dogs, and you want me to feed them, and do this, but I also wanted to watch the game that you were at. You're
Right.
closer than me, why am I supposed to, like, you know?
right.
So, we'll see. I'm just glad Tim answered the phone, because otherwise we would have had to make another stop, and I would have had to, like, shake him awake.
Yeah. So
So he might be there before me, I hope.
maybe. Yeah. So what story or what fear like keeps you from communicating with him when things like this come up? Because like clearly this is an inconvenience to you, if nothing else, at least like mentally.
He's
You know, it's like where's the
basically, I mean, my parent, I mean, I'm, he's not close with his father at all. Like, when I first started dating him, I thought
His father-in-law?
his father at all.
Oh, at all.
I thought his dad was dead.
I was like,
His
whoa,
dad
you're the
is not
side
dead.
chick?
His dad is very much
It's
alive.
like, you're a mistress?
I thought his dad was dead. He's not. He's not very close to the mom. And so I think sometimes, especially, he's from Michigan. I'm from here. I'm very close to my parents. And so I think sometimes he gets annoyed. He's like, I'm not excited to hang out with your parents because I feel like he's never had that type of relationship with his parents. So
what
when
about
I'm like,
hanging out with you? Does he get excited to hang out with you?
he does.
What if
thankfully.
sex isn't involved?
No, sex usually isn't involved.
Okay, so he's fine with him. I'm just like making sure.
No, yeah.
Like,
I'm more the
they're
sex pusher than him. So.
But there definitely are guys like that, right? Where it's like,
No, 100% agree. But no, he's like, I don't necessarily want to hang out with your parents. I'm not excited. I'm like, but they're excited to hang out with you. Let me tell you. My dad says up his dad jokes for you.
But yeah, so he doesn't. I'm asking about your communication with him, though, related to this issue and this pattern of behavior.
No, well, so the thing is that he just is like, I'm not necessarily excited to hang out with your parents. And I'm like, okay, I get that.
Okay.
And I'm like, try to make him
But that's not really
hang out with them all the time. Because I feel like there are times where I'm like, my parents are always trying to invite us both to things. And I'm like.
But he had already made a commitment to showing up.
Yes.
He already said he would be there. Right? So, like.
This was also.
Whether he wants to the day of or not, he's already made a commitment to do this thing.
Yeah. And he's also canceled day off before. So my mom also thinks of him as a little flaky.
It sounds like it.
But
sounds like he is kind of whimsical.
He really is. He's great.
Does he feel like? Does he feel secure to you, as a partner, as someone like you can lean on when you need to?
Most of the time. I feel like we're both growing in that aspect.
Okay.
I feel like my problem was that in past relationships, always was the person that was too much trying to help them and not letting, like, myself be good. So I'm
not
always
focusing enough on yourself.
Yeah, so I feel like I've always been the one that's like, yeah. So I feel like I've always done that, and so I need to, like, now, especially because I used to live in New York for a long time. So now that I'm, like, back in Colorado near my family and everything, I'm like, I need someone who will be okay with that and likes them and wants to be
with you giving them care and love, right?
Because I know my dad's from here also, and my grandparents, his parents, they're passed away now, but my mom was so close to them. And she, like, when they were, like, sick and stuff, she would always go visit them and do all these things as if they were, like, her parents. And I'm like, that's what I want, because I will never leave here.
Why won't you ever leave here? What do you mean?
I left here for a while.
And you just, like, you're ready to, like, live here permanently. And so
I went to college in Pennsylvania. I lived in New York for, like, 8 years, like, New York City, and then I moved.
So you're here to stay. You're here to stay.
And then I've, like, realized I was like, I'm here. I've lived multiple states. I've lived, where is it? Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just ready to stay here.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I want.
Right.
And I know myself growing up, it was wonderful having my grandparents 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Like, everything.
So if you eventually have kids,
well, it's also the problem is that I hate children and I don't want any, but.
Okay. Why is that a problem?
I feel like I'm like, oh, it makes sense. You're like, oh, I want grandkids and I want them close to their not grandkids, kids. I want them to be close to their grandparents. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, it's just me. But we'll see. I've always told myself if I could afford to have a surrogate, then I'll have a kid.
What's wrong with your body?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I just
You
like
just
the
want to
thought.
you just want to outsource the labor
The
of.
thought of being pregnant stresses me out very much.
Well, as it should.
So I'm
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure
if
it's a
I can
lot.
afford at least a surrogate, or maybe, and not necessarily that I would even do it, but if I could afford that, or even afford the option to do it, that I'm like, I could afford a kid. Because I feel like it's so expensive now.
Yeah, but that's kind of a cop out, though.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's
also
like,
teach, and it's crazy to see sometimes, like, we'll play, like, if it's too cold to go outside, we'll have, like, dance parties, and we have to play on, like, YouTube. We have, like, assigned iPads for the teachers and stuff, and they will, like, come over when they see me with my iPad, and they'll be like, what are you looking at? I'm like, this is insane.
um,
I'm like, okay, you can watch it for 5 seconds. And like, yeah, 5 seconds. And it will be the same thing. And they will just be like, yeah. And
so
they'll be like,
what's all this have to do with you communicating with your boyfriend? Because I feel like we've done a good job of dancing around that this whole trip, and we really haven't honed in super well on like what keeps you from having better communication with your
I
boyfriend.
try. I feel like I just myself am not good at communicating. So that's a problem.
You let yourself trail off a lot.
I do.
Mm-hmm. So in this situation, right? Just like specifically, like me bringing you here, you're late. That's a whole different thing. Like your mom's kind of being a bitch.
Oh, she
Sounds
always
like
is because I'm the
right,
late one.
sure. And your boyfriend seems like pretty whimsical and like
Oh, let me see if he's here. I
not
can
great.
stalk his location. I love stalking people's location.
That's
It's like
funny.
my favorite game.
That's funny. But yeah, so like how I feel like this is the kind of situation that presents the opportunity for you to sit down and like have a conversation about how his behavior impacts you, right? And like, cause it is impacting you. Minimally on a mental level, right? Because you were on your way to his house and then like didn't know if you were gonna have to pick him up, and like so even like logistically it's affecting you,
Yeah.
right?
That's
so true. Like when something and like obviously don't do it over dinner, you know,
in front of my parents.
Right, but this seems like this whenever things like this happen, you know, and it doesn't have to be like an argument or anything, right? It's just like the focus should be like not why he's wrong necessarily, right? But like what is the impact his behavior has on you? And that's why I asked you like how does this make you feel by him? Like when he does this, whenever he makes a commitment and like doesn't prioritize seeing that commitment through and complains and wants to bail out, and you said he has bailed out day of before, how does that affect you?
That's true.
No, I'm asking.
I mean, it's obviously sucks.
Do you take the time to think about that? Like, how is this affecting me?
No. I feel like my parents, because most of the time it's like different things and I get sad.
I might go up a couple blocks, and because like taking a left turn here is going to be impossible.
That's fine. No, he's just.
So you seem like kind of a, and you kind of described this a little bit too. You've got some people policing tendencies.
Oh, 100%. It's unfortunate.
Right. And so like that kind of thing can kind of like make it more, because I've been that person. I see a lot of myself in you as far as like how you think about your relationship to other people, how you show up in situations, the anxiety, like getting the jitters or like high anxiety when you try to like have a difficult conversation with someone who has like, I guess, impact in your life. Like I've been that person most of my life, so I really get it. But I would just challenge you to try to take a moment sometimes to think about yourself some more and look at like, how am I being affected in this situation? Because you probably don't practice boundaries very well, I would imagine. Like, what is your relationship with setting boundaries?
Like,
Not really.
yeah,
No.
I don't even think I have boundaries.
But you should though. Like that's how you respect yourself, right? By saying like, hey, these are the type of situations I am willing to include myself in versus not. Or like, these are the type of behaviors I'm willing to accept from other people versus not.
Yeah.
And to say like, you don't necessarily have to push anyone else to change. This is just an assertion to yourself to say, I will not be a part of this,
Right.
because I deserve better than for people to drop their commitments that they make to me, than for people to like not prioritize communicating, like all these different things, right? Like whatever it is. I'm just taking examples from this
No,
conversation.
100%.
But so I'm gonna ask you again, because like we're stuck in fucking traffic.
Right.
We have time to think about it. Like how has this impacted you? How do you feel about it? And like, because building language around this is what's going to help you communicate, right?
Yeah.
And you got to think about it though. So,
Yeah, it's tough because he knew about it. I mean, at least he's going. I feel like I hope he beats me there. I don't know what he's doing to get there, but it's annoying that he wouldn't like plug his phone in or something. Because when I called him, it went straight to voicemail. So I don't know what was happening if he just went home and didn't plug his phone in, didn't care, like took a nap, and it always stressed me out because now I even talk to my mom and she's like, "Oh, he's sleeping, isn't he?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
and so your mom sees this behavior too.
Mm-hmm.
And has your mom spoken with you like this about it?
She just kind of is like, because we were supposed to go bowling yesterday. I mean, we like went actually there, but it took so long, and we ended up not being able to because it took so long. But she was like, "Oh, you guys are actually like going out and doing something," and I was like, "Oh shoot."
That sounds like
We're kind of getting into this like
a small
slum.
dig though
Yeah. Oh,
by your mom,
100%. And I try to
rather
like,
than support, like a dig,
I
which
try to like
is
tell him it in a not bitchy fashion because I don't want to like make him necessarily feel like shit, but I also want to like make him see that like other people are realizing that we like it's like plans and then we don't do anything and we don't do anything. And like it was
right.
like, oh, he's gonna make dinner tonight, and I was like, oh, you're making pasta, and I was like, no, he's making this, but he ended up making
Hmm.
pasta.
So, oh wow. So you mentioned not wanting to feel or sound or seem like a bitch. Now, do you feel like a bitch right now talking to me?
A little,
What?
not crazy. Oh,
Really? You feel like
oh,
a bitch right
I'm
now?
getting a call right now.
Answer it. Go
Oh,
for it.
it's him.
Just tell him we're stuck in traffic.
Hello, I am by the Pepsi Center in traffic. Will you just go in, please? Because my mom was so angry because I was going to be like, can you just go in? Because I feel like they're probably there. Ultria? Um, wasn't it? Wasn't it at the Crawford Hotel? Did you look it up? Are you gonna go meet them though? You're not gonna wait for me, right? Because I'm in traffic. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, no, why would you? Are you done? Is it a text message? What's,
Oh shit, no, he called me. Well, the thing is, said, where is it? That's what annoys me. Because originally they sent me the place and I was like, oh, it looks cool. And he looked it up on his phone and he said, oh, it's in the Crawford Hotel at Union Station. And I was like, oh, cool. And he's like, where is it? And I was like, we've looked this up and talked about it together. And he was like, what should I do? And I'm like, can you just go? I'm in
right?
traffic. I'm going to be there. They're probably there.
And I don't feel like, like that was totally fine. That seemed like perfect communication to me. what just happened. I didn't hear his
Okay.
side, but like as far as from you, like that was you handled that beautifully.
Thank
That
you.
was great. And as far as you communicating with me, I don't know why, like what in your head would make you feel like you've been a bitch at all in this. There's nothing like that. You're fine. You're great. Like we're just two people talking, and like I don't think you're a bitch at all.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, no, I don't even. I'm literally at a loss for why you would feel that way.
I just love my thing, do they?
Well, I don't know if like overthinking. I'm like really reluctant to say overthinking, but I think like misthinking might be it, right? Like you're telling yourself a story that really is just like I can't imagine why that would be the story that you're telling yourself, because like you seem like a sweet person who like has a good heart and wants to do right by other people, but you might struggle like with valuing yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I just let people walk all over me.
So yeah, I mean, if we want to take this item by item, just as far as like the specific behaviors that led to the outcome that like the situation we're in right now, right? So like you go to brunch with your boyfriend, he goes home and like lets his phone die and takes a nap, and then you can't get in touch with him, right? Or whatever. Maybe he didn't let his phone die. Maybe he turned it off. Like who knows, right? But you're left in the dark, not being able to contact him, not being able to like confirm the plans. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but him being whimsical and bailing out on things or like complaining about things he doesn't want to do that he's committed himself to. This is a pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is something that has happened repeatedly.
Yeah.
And have you guys talked about that?
A little bit. Like my mom has said he's flaky.
But have you talked with him about it?
I've told him that, and he's kind of
from your perspective
blown it off.
Okay, and how does it make you feel that he blows it off?
Bad. It seems because I feel like I try
and you just
to
get pushed.
like
You get pushed
do
away.
things for other people. Like I've gone to concerts for things he likes, listen to the things he likes, and then I'll play something. I'm like, oh, would you want to go to this with me? And he's like, no, it's terrible. And I'm like, well, I don't like necessarily what you listen to, but I go because I want to spend time with you.
Because you want to spend time with him. Yeah.
And then it's just like.
Do you ever feel like you're reaching for him to want to spend time with you?
I wouldn't say that, because he definitely does. Sometimes I feel necessarily like it's like.
Whenever something's your idea. Let's put it that way.
I feel like he wants to, but he just wants to like do nothing, or it's like his idea.
So he would rather do nothing a lot of the time than get up off his ass and go do the thing that you want to do. How does that make you feel?
It's very annoying.
I think it might be deeper than annoying.
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes I feel like it like kind of, I don't want to say dulls my shine because it sounds like a child.
I think it does.
But I feel like I have a lot of things, and he's like, "Oh, turn it down, do this, do that." I'm like, that have to be like a minimized version.
Do you feel like,
of
and
myself.
honestly, a minimized version of that? I wrote about that a few weeks ago. I feel you on so much of this. I really do. Cause I've been single for 13 years. So like not in an intimate relationship like that, but just as far as like the general pattern of how I've showed up in relationships and how I've offered myself and like always tried to do right by other people and give as much as of myself to other people as I can, thinking naively that like me giving of myself was going to be the thing, that they would just be reciprocal, and like, cause if the whole world fucking operated like that, it'd be great,
great.
but the world does not operate like that. And people will take advantage of you. And I'm not saying necessarily that this guy is taking advantage of you, but do you feel like he values you and respects you and prioritizes you the way you need? And not not that's like good enough the way you need?
Yeah.
Does he show up the way
I
you need him
think
to?
I've honestly been thinking about that. We'll see. I feel like he tries, and there's a lot of stuff also going on. And he does a lot of stuff for me that's not just that. And I think sometimes it distracts me from that issue. So we have to kind of see.
But this is important though,
Yeah. It's
because
like I'll play something, he's like, turn it down. I'm like, I never tell you to turn your music down. And
yeah. How much do you feel like your needs matter in this relationship? Like, do you show up in a way to advocate for your own needs? And also, does he show up in a way to advocate and respect and care about your needs? Because like that kind of needs to get, it needs to come from both directions, right?
yeah,
How do you advocate for yourself?
right. I mean, I feel like when he wants me to go with like stuff with his family, and it's because he has his sister, and he's one of four. No, he's one of five, and two of them live here. So he's one of so out of the five, three of them live in Denver,
Mhm.
and two of them don't. So he's like, "Oh, this, that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in. Let's go." And it's like always hard for him too. And he was always like, "Well, I'm not
But
excited."
that's you showing up for his needs.
Yeah, and so sometimes it's hard because it's like I never necessarily want to say because he's not very close with his mom, and obviously, and I honestly thought his dad was dead, but he's not. But he has no relationship with his dad, and so sometimes I just want to be like, just because it makes me sad because I know he doesn't have a close relationship with his parents, and I'm like, I'm very close with my parents,
Yeah.
and it makes me sad when he gets mad that he has to like hang out with them, or he's like, I'm not excited to hang out with them. I'm like, I don't want to hear that because I know my parents are very excited to hang out with you.
Yeah.
So kind of and I'm excited anytime he gets to hang out with them because if I wasn't, I wouldn't have him meet them or
Right.
hang out with them. So I'm kind of like when he's like gets annoyed and he's like, "Well, I'm not excited to," and I'm like, "We don't have to be excited. You don't have to tell me that." And I'm like, "They're excited to hang out with you." My dad thinks of his little stupid dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Would you like this?" And I'm like, "You probably would like your dad joke, Dad. Don't worry." He literally will like wait for his dad jokes to tell him.
Yeah.
So sometimes that, and I don't want to be mean because he like has a very, very, very bad relationship with his dad and his mom. They're good, but like he's just not super close with her. And I just don't want to be the bitch that's like, I'm sorry you don't have a close relationship with your parents, but I do. Like,
Well,
I hang out with my parents. I mean, I
well,
guess I
you don't
live
have
with them
to.
now,
It's the
but
the
like,
phrasing. The phrasing matters, right? The
no.
phrasing matters because like leave out his relationship with his parents doesn't matter relative to your relationship with your parents. But what does matter is that he supports you maintaining your relationship with your parents, right? And that like if you're going to be partners,
Hmm.
that he participates in that,
And it's kind of like he has
right?
like a set of parents, not necessarily his, but people that are here for him if he needs it
Right, but I was
now.
trying to hone in on what you just said about I don't want to sound like a bitch. Great. So like how do you communicate that? Because that's like very self-deprecated, you
Mm-hmm.
know? How can you communicate like, hey, look, because I think the way I want you to try this because we're almost at the end of the line.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want you to try to like focus a little less on what you need to say about someone else, right? And focus more on like your own experience as these things are related. Because if you're saying something about yourself and your own experience of what's happening around you, there's no way to be a there's no way to be a bitch about that. to say like, hey, like I just want you to understand something, like my relationship with my parents is very important to me.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it feels like you don't support that or like you're not here to participate in that with me, and that makes that's hard for me sometimes,
Right.
But if you frame it in that way where it's like, okay, this guy, he's your boyfriend. He should care how he makes you feel.
Right.
He should care how his actions impact your experience, right? And if he doesn't, that's a problem. And the solution for that is either one, like you guys talk about it, because like when we have a problem, look, I love to say problem, challenge, opportunity, blessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I like to look at it. I always remind myself of that problem, challenge, opportunity, blessing. It's like you have the opportunity to pursue a solution together with this person who, like, if he's a good partner for you, should be able to stand in solidarity with you to help you have a better experience of partnership with him,
Right.
And like you deserve to have someone who can do that with you.
Yeah.
And hear you and like care about your experience. But you deserve to care about you deserve to care about your own experience too. Right? So if you take nothing else away from this, start focusing in on like how do things actually make you feel. And you don't have to blame anyone else. It can just be like a statement, like just a plain and simple objective, like, hey, it really like made me upset whenever I couldn't get in contact with you and figure out if I had to pick you up or, like that was hard for me. And there's nothing bitchy about that,
Thank you.
But
I appreciate it, because that actually makes me feel better, because I always feel like I'm a bitch when I say stuff like that.
You're not a bitch at all.
So...
And dude, I have a huge fucking favor to ask of you. So I do a podcast, and this has been like a very touching conversation for me. This is exactly the kind of stuff that I want to put on my podcast. Would you be okay if I just like strip the audio, because I have a dash cam and a mic?
Yeah.
Strip the audio, keep your name out of it, all names, like anonymity's protected, no film, just audio.
100%.
You're cool with that?
100%.
Okay. And if you want
I'm
to,
not alone, so I feel like it's good.
Yeah, this might seem a little weird, but can I add you on Instagram? And like I put my journal on there.
No, 100%.
And if you can just peek through that at your convenience. But if you ever want to reach out and talk again, like you can feel free to reach out to me.
No, absolutely.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay.
No, that's awesome.
So let me add you real quick.
Yeah,
and like obviously I'll cut out like your fucking Instagram tag too.
No, of course.
What's your?
It's just my name.
Yeah, perfect. Follow me back, and I think you might find a lot, because I really do relate to you super strongly on so much of this. I think you might find things that resonate with you in my journal.
100%. I probably will.
Don't be afraid to be
a lot of things I need to think. But right. Thank you.
Well, hey, enjoy your dinner.
Well, enjoy your night.
I will.
I hope I didn't bring it down.
No, this was amazing. I really appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night. You too.
Bye. Hey, come back to the corner. I'm outside of Brooklands. Come back. Oh my God. What? This is your driver. I parked out front of Brooklands. Come back to the corner.
Oh, okay. Okay. What's your,
I'm right at the corner.
At the corner?
Yeah, I'm the white Jeep at Auraria and like
the white Jeep?
Yeah, right in front of Brooklands. I have my hazard lights on and shit.
White Jeep. Alright.
Alright, cool.
Alright, we're out in a second.
Sick. How's it going, brother?
Oh shit! This jacket does not do anything with keeping you warm.
We're going to.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
See in Memphis.
Sounds like a move, bro. This is bus coming
Memphis,
this way.
where you at?
The fuck out the way, bus. Get out of here. All right. Are you? Come on, motherfucker. All right. Sorry.
You see my text phone? Yeah, I've been responding to your text. Well, that was good one though, right? That was good. That was my good sir. Hey, take one of those. I'm assuming these icebreaker mints are for people.
You know what they say about assuming.
Well, we broke the ice. Listen, man, if it's acid, I'm down too. So it's like we'll just go. Hey, I mean,
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Well,
what
you're not gonna make me mad.
That's good. That's good.
You're not gonna make me mad.
You know,
that's
good. I do have to inform you, they are normal icebreakers. Normal ass. Plain Jane. Got them from the gas station.
Dude. Plain Jane. You're fired, but you have a great card.
I didn't piss on them. I didn't put LSD on them.
Damn it. You didn't piss on them? Like,
I know. Made me happy. That's what everyone's asking for these days.
Golden shower.
Exactly.
Could you piss on them a little bit?
I could, but I didn't.
Damn it. Okay, if I tip you more.
I'm sorry. Put in a special request for the next pack that I bought.
I'll write that in on my next Uber.
Yeah,
Can you pee in your mints?
I'll ship it to you.
I would like a golden
but
shower
it's gonna be
look,
it's gonna be like an extra $20
for
the service.
I'll pay an extra $50. I'm okay with the corresponding fee.
And like if you want my underwear too, you know, we can do that.
Well, that's more of my friend right here. Yeah, he wants your underwear.
But it's an extra $50 for everyday worn, okay?
There's something good about
it. And if you want me to go to the gym, an extra $100. Okay?
Come on. This is gym right here, man. Like, you want to go to gym? Like, I want to watch.
Oh my gosh.
You are sick, and I love it.
I am sick, bro. We're all sick. Yeah, that's the human condition, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Fucking sick creatures. Disgusting animals.
We are, dude. That's what makes it glorious. So, like, if you can take away being offended by people being weird, which you shouldn't be offended by people being weird because you're weird.
Exactly. If you don't, it's only the person who doesn't acknowledge and embrace their own weirdness.
They don't embrace their own weirdness, so like they think they're like, this dude's
on some fucking shit.
Over yourself, be like, you're on your own. Like,
get your head out of your ass, buddy.
Cool, have fun. Like,
how's the shit smell?
You don't match my weirdness, but that's cool. Like, you're weird.
No, I'm really glad we're all on the same fucking vibe here.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm fucking weird.
You guys are
I'm definitely weird. And
but own that shit though. Own that shit. Because the thing is like when you own it, no one can really give you a hard time about it.
Because you're authentic. At the end of the day, like you're original, like you're exactly what you're serving up. Yeah, like people
you're out in front of it.
Yeah. Yeah, people already know what you're serving up, so it's like, hey, I don't like it, but I know this is who he is. So like,
they don't have to question. Like, so all the people who do fuck with you really fuck with you.
Exactly.
They fuck with you. You know what I mean? And all the people who don't fuck with you, well, then
I don't understand this guy. That's fine, dude. Don't understand me.
Don't worry about understanding. Just accept it. Just accept it.
Yeah,
just lay down. You can be a starfish. That's fine. Just
fucking acknowledge it. Yeah, dude. I love when they're starfish.
Just take it.
I give up.
Just let it happen.
They're like, God, this guy's gonna fuck me. I had no choice. I didn't want this. I'd be like, I got my nut in 30 seconds. 2 minutes remaining.
It won't last long. Just let it happen.
Dude, that's what I'm telling them. It's not gonna be long and it's not gonna be fast. Or short. Or long. What? I don't know. Whatever you know. It's not gonna be a big cock and it's not gonna be long. Whatever it is, I don't know. Something like
it's an honest cock.
Hey,
it ain't much, but it's honest work.
It ain't much, but it's an honest cock.
Exactly. There's never been a more realistic.
Do you want a big cock or do you want an honest cock? You gotta ask yourself this question.
Yeah, because I mean, these trans men, they're walking around with horse dogs.
Well, the last time I fucked a trans man, like I was like, "Yo, do you want an honest cock?" He was a fucking.
Oh my fucking god, dude!
I don't know what to do.
Jeez, I feel like we just accomplished so much in 3 minutes. Like, holy fuck! This is one of the this is one of the richest conversations. Holy
dude,
shit,
such a good
bro.
time, dude.
Oh my god.
Well, dude, hey man, we're just out here. I'm just out here trying to make it. I'm trying to be naked. I'm trying to make it. Oh, I got fucked up my words again. Well. Oh,
Jeez
man.
Louise,
Dude,
man.
so whenever we were sitting there, I was talking to that dude.
Yeah, of course you were talking.
There was this big dude, this big girl.
Oh, you
behind
like
me.
the big ones?
No, fuck, he's a big dude. I was like, "How long did you serve?" He's like, 10 years. I was like, "Not long enough." No, but this chick, bigger chick, yeah, she was alright. She kept on like trying to get closer and closer to her. She was eventually leaning over.
Why the fuck are you whispering back there?
Well, no, I was.
Because he's
You know I have a mic and I can listen to it later.
I was explaining. I was explaining the situation and what happened.
Well, he's embarrassed because
No,
he was
no.
talking to a dude and then a fat chick.
You were doing it very quiet.
I was talking to a dude and a fat chick leaned over and she wanted to know what was going on.
So, like, who was gonna fuck you, the dude or the fat chick?
I was hoping both.
Yes, sounds like it.
I'm a trisexual. I'll
Hey.
try anything.
Dude, double dip when you can.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Kill two birds with
try
one
it.
stone.
I'm here for a good time.
Just or one real honest dick.
But not long enough, man. The strap should have been longer.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it was good.
Hey, so
Right here, so-
this is not the normal thing I asked this for, but can I put this conversation on my podcast?
Yeah, please,
Yeah,
please.
sick. I'm gonna add it to the tail end of the really serious conversation I just had.
What's your podcast? So I can look.
It's called It's Nothing Personal.
It's nothing personal.
It's nothing
Okay.
personal. Look it up on Spotify.
Dude, I swear, if
Hey.
we're not on it, I'm gonna be offended.
You're gonna be on the next episode, bro.
Yes.
You fellas have a great night. Peace.